Randy, I want to talk about the stock price. There is a lot going on. I mean, it reached its peak. First of all, why do you think the stock is, bullish trend, bearish trend? I mean, it lost 70% of its share value in 2022, although Tesla had a great year in 2022. So, from your understanding and being a long-time investor, what do you think is going on with the stock price? I mean, is it the economy? Is it the market? Is it the company? Is it Elon Musk? There is a lot of media bashes Elon every single day. Then they praise him one day, and the stock price goes 8% up. Give us your take. What's going on?
Okay, so do you have another hour? Okay, I'm going to do my best in a few minutes because all of the things that you said are affecting it. But the number one thing that affects it is the story. Okay, because remember, this is a story stock. Okay, when Steve Jobs died, the stock tanked. Had nothing to do with the fundamentals, and the company has gone crazy since. But when Steve Jobs died, the story was over. It tanked. Oh, when Steve Jobs left Apple the first time, the company almost went out of business and the stock went away. When Steve Jobs came back, all of a sudden, okay, you've got this entrepreneurial, this guy, this person that people know his capabilities. They might not like him. They may not agree with his politics. They might think that he's silly sometimes. They may think he's juvenile sometimes, which I would agree with. Sometimes he's juvenile. But lots of adult men are juvenile. I don't know if you've noticed, but lots of men, the 51-year-old men like Elon are very juvenile in their behavior. Give me a break. So, so people are expecting him to be different, but he's so transparent and so real that he's acting pretty much like a 51-year-old man. All right. So you have this bigger than life guy at the top of it. You have a stock that was valued really high, okay, in a market where risk on was totally there. I mean, everybody was like, I'll take the risk. I'll take the risk. Where can I put my money where I'm going to get the biggest return? Yes, Tesla's going crazy. So, boy, I can put some money in there. I can make money. All the retail investors were coming in. All the retailers are coming in and putting money in it. The institutions are way back here because the stock is not rated. It's rated as junk,
Right.
So the institutions are way back here, but the story people are all pouring the money in and it's going crazy. Well, the market completely changed its mind, which it does all the time. And the market says, oh no, if the Fed is going to raise the interest rates like this, risk is off. All of these growth companies are going to get slammed, which they did. Okay, I've got all of these risk companies are all lined up on my little stock checker on my phone, and Tesla and all these other risk companies kind of go the same. ARK Invest and all these guys, they kind of go the same every day. And most of them lost 70-80% of their value, just like Tesla did. So I believe that it was 100% driven, not 100%. It was 60 to 70% driven by the narrative. Another 10 or 20% by Elon's various actions, whether it's buying Twitter, whether it's selling Tesla stock, whether it's doing, making statements that the liberals didn't like. There's a whole bunch of things that he did. Yes. So there was a 10 or 20% that was to do with what Elon was doing. And then I think there was a 10% factor that was probably, how is he going to do what he said he was going to do in a recession? His margins are going to go away. He's not going to be able to sell as many cars as he said. So therefore, in a recessionary situation, we got to take some money off the table. So all that happened. Now you've got this response. It's come back almost 100% from its lows. It's still 100. It's still 50% of its highs.
Right.
I'm predicting it's going to go back to 400 this year. And the reason that I'm saying that it's going to go back to 400 this year is because the new story, and I've been talking about this now on my channel, the new story is Tesla is a growth stock that is also a blue chip. It becomes more Apple-like. It becomes more Costco-like. Okay. This is a company that's probably going to do fine in a recession. It may not do great in a recession. It's going to do fine in a recession. It's got 20 billion net cash in the bank. How many companies do you think in the world have $20 billion net cash in the bank? I tried to get ChatGPT to tell me that, and I couldn't get it to do it. But I'm going to say it's on the order of 30. In the world, companies that are as blue chip as Tesla, who has 22 billion in cash and only 1.5 billion in long-term loans. So it's a blue chip stock now that people can depend on and know it's going to still be here. Oh, by the way, it's also throwing off $1 billion to $2 billion a quarter in free cash flow. Very few companies do that. And it's throwing off that free cash flow at the same time that its CapEx is huge as they're building factory after factory around the world and improving their other factories. So there's no other company now like Tesla, not even close, in terms of its value proposition, in terms of its growth proposition, growing from this high of a cap already and growing at 50% per year going forward. And there's never been a company in history like this.